The super duper feature update.
It's super duper duper.
It's finally here. Super 2.0, a complete redesign of Supered app. It is easier to use, easier to create, more holistic, prettier, all the things you ever wanted in life put into it. Tell me what you think. Take it away, Super Steve.
What is up, y'all? Super Steve here, coming in with a very large update to Super that encompasses a few weeks of work all at one time. And so I have some notes on this one because we're going to walk through and show you some of these new features. Maybe not go fully in depth, but I'll show you all the highlights of this. So you might have seen in Matt's post the framing of Super 2.0. This is this new idea. It's base first, which is what we used to call collections. We're now calling bases. And more focused on serving clients easier, faster, just making the whole quality of life better for you. So let's start with their new sidebar, and then we'll go to our homepage and look at the new features there. So this new sidebar is complete ground up reworking of the sidebar. It's a lot easier because you can do things like resize it. You can even collapse it if you don't want to have a full-size sidebar. And we are starting to think about how to remove and consolidate some of these icons. You'll see updates is at the top level, but the connection settings got moved into the settings page, and the settings is removed from this menu and put into a different menu. So we're starting to consolidate, make this a little more intuitive and direct to use. So my particular favorite feature here is being able to collapse this down and have more real estate for your content. So the other really cool thing about this sidebar is you can actually drag and drop from the sidebar into a collection or vice versa. So let's say that I have these cards here that I want to put into a different collection. So I can go ahead and expand this out, see all the different cards that are in here. Let's say that I'm going to move this card that I'm on now into a different collection. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop. And you'll see that now I've moved collections. My card is moved. I can go ahead and let's drag this back into a different folder. So I'll drag it over here, and I can see over here that this has been dropped into this folder. Let's move the whole folder over. So you have a lot easier, more intuitive control with this drag and drop now, especially with things like moving a folder, which wasn't possible before. So this is very exciting. So the other sidebar change here is the top section. Up here where your organization name is, you'll now have the settings, you'll have connections, you'll have the logout button here. But you also have this access client account if you're a partner. And this lets you really easily switch between your different client accounts without ever having to go back. So I can go through all of my different client accounts. Let's say I'm doing some type of update or doing some type of push. So it's just a lot easier to interact with. So you might have seen from that last little walkthrough a new screen when I went into that client account. Super now has a proper home screen. So let's go in here. This is our default home screen. It has recently viewed cards for the current user, but then also recently updated cards or recently created cards. This is across the whole account. And it also includes updates. This is actually net new. You could only use updates in the extension before, but now you can click these and complete or snooze the update right from the app. The other really exciting thing about this homepage is it's actually pretty customizable. So there's a few different types of panels that we support out of the box. Here's a new one that you didn't see yet. It's called featured cards. Let's go ahead and find that card that we were just working with and make it featured. Now on the home page for all users on my team, they would have this card pinned to the top so they can quickly access it. Some of the other different types of panels you can interact with are, let's say, just freeform content. So just like you get when you make a card, this would be creating some displayable content. You could put in lists. You could link out to different things. You could put core values. You could put whatever you want here to really emphasize to the whole team. I really like core values and mission and vision focus here, so everyone sees it every time they come in. And then the other thing that you can do with this is pretty neat. And I'll show you one last panel in a second, but you can actually drag these around and lay out the way that you want to. So you could have multiple content panels that are laid out a very particular way. And you could say, hey, actually, I don't want them to have recently updated or added. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And when you save, that goes out to the whole team as their homepage. So you can configure this. Now, the last one I'll show here that is very useful, in particular for partners, is embedded forms. So we'll be fixing this up a little bit, but our day one release, we're supporting HubSpot, iframes, and Typeform. So let's go with the Typeform here, where what I have to put in is a Typeform ID, save it, and now this panel actually lets me submit a Typeform that then I could be driving a process off of this, some type of business process. Maybe as a partner, I want people to submit tickets to me through Supered, and I'm going to have them use this form to do it. So we support Typeform, HubSpot, and again, iframes, which really means you can put anything you want in there because you can iframe really any website that supports it. So let's go back to our card and see if we missed anything. There's a lot here. So that pretty much wraps it for these features, but I think when we talk about Super 2.0, there's an exciting future here that's worth talking about. So this first one is the idea of client bases, where basically every client that you have as a partner would actually have a space over here on the left-hand side. And when you go into that client base, you would have all of their content. You would have internal content that's specific for your team. Maybe that's where you're putting your SOP, you're putting like escalation notes or things that you don't want the client to see, but you want to keep track of. But then also we're going to just put everything basically to interact with that client there. You want to create updates and send it to them. That's going to be there. You want to see the status of their process rules. That's going to be there. Pretty much everything that you would normally access an account to do, and you'd have several clicks. We're going to be trying to minimize those clicks, making it super easy to service those accounts. And I'm in particular very excited about this. This is coming. That will really be Super 2.0 when we have that. And you'll also see updates to the extension that will mirror this. So this initial update is in-app only, but we'll probably bring over the homepage concept into that extension as well. We'll probably be extending this embedded form concept so you can actually drive more processes through that extension than you could otherwise. So that's all very exciting. So keep your eyes peeled for more to come. I've seen the roadmap, and it's just very exciting to be part of it and to serve you all with these new features. Stay awesome, stay supered.